I'm Janae Jensen with Psykhe Hair. So our typical client is somebody who has suffered from hair loss or thinning or even breakage around the front of their face where they're wanting to have more hair. Our piece is gonna be less maintenance. It's gonna be more comfortable because it just sits on the head like more of a headband rather than clipping into the hair. And it's not gonna add any other stress to the actual strands because it's not attached to the hair. So Amy here, we can see she's got some thinning going on here, that little bit of density, but if we go ahead and actually turn here, we can see she's got these shorter pieces that don't grow as well. Whether that is due to that over process or it's the hereditary and that female pattern baldness where this hair just falls out quicker than it should. We've got this sparseness here and we have no length or bulk down here. And this is where our secret tiara piece and helper hair is gonna come in and fill that in for her. She wears a side part, and so we are going to match our secret tiara piece to that by setting this just kind of on her head, getting a kind of an idea in that middle section of where that part should be. Then we will go through and start sliding the hairs individually over from the middle section over to our side sections. Because Amy has a little bit more sparse density there, we're gonna wanna make that part a little bit wider. So I'm just gonna slide those little hairs out, creating a little bit of a wider gap here. Pulling those hairs over. And from this point, now that I've got the part adjusted, I wanna make sure this is gonna fit her head comfortably. And in order to do that, I need to take my needle nose pliers and come in where the extra elastic string is on the one side. We're gonna take where our bead is and go from the flat direction in the opposite direction to pop the bead open. This will allow that elastic string to just slide through and easily adjust to our client's head. We wanna make sure that that elastic comes down around the occipital bone, and we wanna be able to get a finger underneath there. And I always like to, at this point, rather than tying it off, I wanna also, just with our rat tail comb, go through and pull the hair over the top, because once we do that, that can change the sizing just ever so slightly by making it feel a little bit more loose. So we wanna just make sure that it's got the right snug fit, that it's not too tight, but it's not too loose and isn't gonna go sliding. So we'll go ahead and take that off now. Reclamp that bead down. We'll do 3 knots for extra security, and then we can cut off the excess there. The last step before we can go into cutting will be to actually take our glue, and we're just gonna add a dab of glue on each side of that part we created to keep those hairs in place. So when you receive your package, you'll receive your hair piece as well as a small bottle of glue that will be used when creating the parts. So we've got our piece sized and the part set, and we're gonna line that part back up with Amy's part and pulling that down and over the occipital bone once again, getting the secret tiara piece ready to cut into the bio hair. And in order to do that, we wanna pull her hair up over the top of the piece and pull any hair on top and go all the way around the elastic and continue on to the other side. Now we're gonna blend the secret tiara into the bio hair. We're ready to cut, and we just wanna be able to blend in our new found hair into our bio hair. And so we've got, you can see where that line is, and I often like to take my clients on a little bit of an angle just so that they have a little bit of wiggle room as their hair grows. So we've got it cut and even on both sides here, but we can already see what a transformation this has given Amy by giving her that extra fullness. But Amy has also been someone that has worn toppers for quite a while, and we're transitioning her into something else. And so we're gonna work with 2 pieces on her today when we go into styling. But the great news with our product is you can actually layer it and use multiple pieces to create that desired effect that you want with the fullness and the thickness that you are trying to achieve. And this second piece, we're gonna go just back maybe a 1/2 inch to 1 inch from where the first piece sits. So So now we've got 2 pieces in here to give that fullness, especially if she wants to wear that more smooth, straight, sleek look, but have the density that we need in that blunt cut. But Amy does love her hair curled and prefers a style with curls. And with our pieces being 100% human hair, we can do that. When I do curls and I do styling, I always recommend style your hair first the way you're normally gonna wear it. Then we're gonna add the pieces as we go. So now we've curled her bio hair, we're going to stick in our helper hair pieces and curl those to finish off her style. We've got both pieces in there, curled and styled, which has given us the fullness through this mid shaft to the perimeter length. But because this is still an insecurity area for Amy, we're gonna go in and fill this part line in with some of our hair fibers. I'm gonna use dark brown to match and shake this in on this part. And then we're gonna pull just some of the hair from the part, flip that over, and go underneath it a little bit. If you like a little bit of extra oomph, you can go in and back comb that just a little bit. And when it's all done, we will use some setting spray to hold, but also to hold those fibers in place.